Okay, friend, the following video has gone viral on Twitter, where Joe Rogan in this one, I think his name is Jim, he's a comedian, Jim Gaffigan. Okay, Jim Gaffigan here is going to be schooled by Joe Rogan. And what's amazing about this, Joe Rogan himself is not even a conservative, somewhere in the middle. I would say a classical liberal in some sort, but a very curious man. Asks a lot of questions, makes a lot of sense. But look how he addresses the perspective of this man and how I would say the word ignorant that Jim, let me get his name correct, Jim Gaffigan is. I mean, I felt like Jim in a minute. I'll explain to you why I felt like him, because before I didn't know a lot of things about politics and everything. I still don't know. I know basic stuff, but I know at least what Joe Rogan is talking about here. I think every person in the United States by now should understand this, but that's not the case. So link in the description below, like and subscribe to the page. Let's get into this video.
I think the January 6th thing is pretty bad.
Well, the January 6th thing is bad, but also the intelligence agencies were involved in provoking people to go into the Capitol building. That's a fact.
So wait a minute. You're saying that guy, what's his name?
Ray Epps.
Yeah, you really think that he?
I don't know, but I do know that
I think
every
that's pretty
other
apparent. I think he's going to sue Fox.
I think every other person who was involved in January 6th, who was involved in coordinating a break-in into the Capitol and in instigating people breaking, they were all arrested. This guy wasn't. Not only that, they were defending him in the New York Times, the Washington Post, all these different things, because saying that Fox News is unjustly accused him of instigating. Well, he clearly instigated. He did it on camera. I don't know if he was a Fed. I know a lot of people think he was a Fed. The people that were there were calling him a Fed. What I do know is when they asked the FBI said, we can't tell you whether or not they were people that were there that were doing that.
So the FBI knew how to get everyone else, even somebody's grandmother, from just walking and looking at pictures inside, even though other guards had opened the door. The securities kind of give them a tour of the Capitol, but nevertheless, they were able to catch everyone else. But when it comes to that one man, Ray Epps, who was riling people up, saying things, even the people in the crowds were shouting that this man must have been a Fed or something, at least leaning toward that, some type of agent of something operative. But that man is still free. And the news media is defending him. It also makes you wonder, like, why are you defending him when you condemn everybody else that were involved? Just asking.
Now, there's been reports that there was hundreds of agents that were there that were doing that. I don't know if that's true either. But I do know that they do use agent provocateurs to disrupt peaceful protests. It's a common tactic. What they do is, say if there's a, like the World Trade Organization is a great example. And that was in, I think, the 90s in Seattle. Mm-hmm. And so what they did was they were protesting the World Trade Organization. They were doing it peacefully. It was a big problem. So what they did is they sent in, allegedly, agent provocateurs. They started smashing buildings and lighting things on fire. Yeah. Now it's not a peaceful protest. Now they can bring in the police. Now they can start arresting people. And then they created a no protest zone where literally if you had a pin on your jacket that was the WTO with a red line through it, they would not let you cross. You could not cross with a pin that was against the WTO and go to work. There was a no protest zone. So they silenced protest, which is a part of our freedom of speech. So this is a tactic that some government agencies use to stop
but
peaceful
wait a minute.
protest.
All right, so what you're saying is on
Wow. I mean, Joe Rogan did his homework.
January 6th, that this event that obviously Trump organized. Forget about the Giuliani stuff and the, whether they thought that it was
He definitely
stolen.
encouraged people to protest.
Yes. But all right, so you're saying that like the FBI and Nancy Pelosi and I'm
not saying Nancy Pelosi.
No, but like you're saying that like they're like, we'll make this instead of an awkward protest, we'll encourage it so that it'll backfire on Trump rather than being this rising of people that believe that there was election corruption?
I think it's certainly
I think
possible.
that would be hard. You think it's possible? I think it's possible.
You
He's serious. Is he serious?
don't think it's, wait a minute, you think it's hard to do?
I think that, that the FBI or the CIA saying, hey, Trump lost this election. Because here's what you're kind of implying. Trump lost the election. He is such an amazing communicator, and he's convinced this loyal base that there was election interference. We don't.
What do they think? Like, do they think like the Trump supporters are a bunch of people with no brain? They can't think for themselves? I mean, Trump doesn't brainwash people in a way that some people think. Trump is not even a good, how do I say this? He's not even a politician. He's a businessman. Like, if anything, Trump can convince you to buy something or sell something. But the reason people love Trump is because Trump is real. It's just what it is. He's real. He tells it like it is. He speaks from his heart. He doesn't bite his tongue. And he goes against the grain. Okay? He doesn't mind climbing. He doesn't mind going uphill, even though, it could cost him his life. Trump is like ready to die for this country. That's why, as a rich man, in the position that he is, he doesn't really have to put up with this stuff. He chooses to put up with it because of the love he has for this country and the people who's been supporting him. So for him to even say that, it shows he either doesn't know Trump at all or he doesn't understand the perspective of the followers of Trump. Most people who support Trump, including myself, we like the man because of who he is and what he's done. It's not because he brainwashes anybody. Because honestly, I would say more than anything, Trump followers are very intelligent. I think they're a lot smarter than Trump. Many of them are a lot smarter than Trump when it comes to like politics. Trump is the man who gets things done. If anything, he follows the leading of his followers. It might not make sense. The people, when they speak about something, they cry about something. He pays attention to it and he gets it done. This is why Trump, when you hear him speak, a lot of what he speaks about are the things that we talk about. And that's why people love Trump. Okay, so Trump is in line with our thinking. That's why people love Trump. So I don't know what Mr. Jim Gaffigan is talking about.
I don't want them to protest. How we can end this is if we encourage people to go beyond protesting to essentially go into the Capitol and take a shit in the hallway.
Never said that.
I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, I don't see why that would be of use. Like, I'm more suspicious.
You spend too much time listening to MSNBC, ABC, CNN, and these guys. Too much liberal television perspective. I think that's what's going on. The mainstream media network, the anti-Trumpers, has brainwashed them because he doesn't understand at all. Even when I was not into politics, this perspective wasn't even mine. Like, I didn't know a lot about Trump, right? But I never thought that Trump was such an evil guy. I used to tell my wife all the time, I'm like, this man is real. And that's what I used to say. I was like, he's real. He tells it like it is. And I respect that about any man who is bold, who believes what he believes. It doesn't matter what anybody else says about that. And I think that was a quality that stood out to me. I love that. I love that. Even though you disagree with me, but the boldness you take for your position is something that I appreciate. I just thought Trump was just very special. One of the reasons why, even before I even started thinking about Trump in a positive, when he took a stand against the climate change, the Paris Climate Agreement, because I was studying this matter in the light of Bible prophecy, seeing how this is going to be manipulated to get people to kind of like give into their fear so that we're going to lose control and things are going to change. When he says that the climate change is a hoax, and he actually pulled the United States out of this Paris Climate Agreement, I was like, I need to pay attention to this man because he's doing things in ways that very few politicians will do. And I said, the guts that he had, the boldness, and he's fearless. And I said, I love that about him. That's way before I knew anything about Trump. I didn't care what the media was saying. I think the media was always speaking garbage, and they still do today.
suspicious why Trump didn't call for backup when,
Is he serious? He did. He did. Nancy Pelosi didn't allow it to happen. They made sure that Trump didn't get the backups that he needed. They knew what was going to happen. They've allowed it to happen.
call for backup when,
The story has been updated. Where is this man? Where has he been?
for the Capitol Police. You know what I mean? It's like there was, and that like Michael Flynn's brother was, you know what I mean? Like there's way more conspiracy stuff against Trump, and than I think the slim likelihood that people were like, oh, Trump's a problem. Let's just get these people that are loyal to Trump to run into the Capitol so that we can arrest 300 people.
Stop.
Does that make sense?
No.
Joe Rogan
Get these people that are loyal
Joe
to
Rogan
Trump
says
to
no.
run into the Capitol so that we can arrest 300 people. Does that make sense?
No. No, it doesn't
No.
make sense. No, I think it's a standard tactic,
It
especially
doesn't
when
make sense.
someone is the enemy of the intelligence agencies. With Trump, that's absolutely the case. Trump set himself up against the intelligence agencies. He did it openly and he did it brazenly. And a lot of people think it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like the intelligence agencies are very important. You want to find out what's going on in other countries. You want to find out what the threats to America are. You want to find out what terrorist activities are going to be taking place and stop them before.
And, JFK had his problem with the intelligence agencies.
I mean, look, it's unchecked power, right? That's the deep state. It's unchecked power. And I think Trump was very open about his disdain for the intelligence agencies. He created enemies in the intelligence agencies. It's standard for intelligence agencies in this country to encourage agent provocateurs or to employ agent provocateurs.
And so you're saying when he was in Helsinki and he was saying, I believe Putin more than my intelligence community, that was something the intelligence community was like, we're going to get him.
Well, I think they were going to get him in any way that they could because he's an enemy of the intelligence agencies.
Exactly. I mean, Trump made some people upset among the intelligence agencies. I think after he got rid of, was it Comey? James Comey? Yeah. After that, he was like, that was it. We got to get this guy. Get him! And they're still getting him. That's why all these indictments are about. Another indictment. In a matter of 4 months, 3 different indictments. But his poll numbers are still going up because people are sympathizing with the man.
And he was openly talking about them being incompetent and being corrupt. And he fired Comey, and he was against the FBI. And look, it's a very dangerous thing. You talk to people that are in intelligence agencies. Like, it's a very dangerous thing for a president to be at war with the intelligence agencies and to do it so publicly. And I think it's without a doubt, when you have a gigantic, massive protest that a lot of people think is a threat to democracy, you have these people that are saying the election was rigged, and they're on the Capitol lawn, they're screaming and yelling. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that they would encourage people to do things that were unlawful. Instead of peacefully protesting, which is what everybody was doing on the outside, which is totally legal, to take that and escalate it to entering into the Capitol. Now you can lock things down, and now you have real clear evidence that this president is responsible for this insurrection attempt, and this is dangerous. This is a threat to our democracy, and he's never going to be president again. We're going to indict him. We're going to go after him. We're going to do all these different things. I think it's not like there's a lot of shenanigans going on both sides. It's not like a clear cut, like he shouldn't have done that and they should have done this. It's like there's a lot of fuckery, and there's a lot that's been going on throughout history. Whenever people have unchecked power and unchecked influence, and they have enemies, and Trump was their enemy.
Simple as that. Schooled. Schooled. He got a taste of reality today. Oh, it's crazy how much he didn't know. Like, he had very little idea. And I'm not a politically savvy individual. I know some things, but I don't know a lot. But I don't need to know a lot. I just need to know what the truth was concerning the basic realities of the basic things that's going on in politics. Wow. I mean, I think Joe Rogan is on point. I mean, Joe Rogan, knowing what he knows, how come he doesn't support Trump? How come he doesn't invite Trump to his podcast? There must be some other reasons behind that. I don't know, but I just think if you know all of this and you're still supporting the Democrats, it's kind of concerning. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's not supporting the Democrats so much. Maybe his job is to be like, the Luther at Rome kind of thing. I'm going to stay inside, but I'm going to try to fix the thing, but I'm not leaving. I don't know. Like for me, I can't be neutral because I realize if it's that bad and you know it to be this bad, you got to make a decision and things like that. And that's me. That's just me. I can't live without making decisions about certain things that I know is incorrect. But Mr. Trump, by any means necessary, man, he's a great president, was a great president, will be a great president 2024. I really believe he's going to win again. I have no doubts in my mind. And when I say this, I have hope. I have hope when I read what the Bible says. I'm not saying I know all the future and everything, but I just know that God, who removes king, he sets up kings. He has authority over all these things. So, yeah, I think he has authority over who is to be elected. Particularly, I think Trump is going to win again. I could be wrong about that, but looking at the way things are working, they're not leaving him alone. God spares his life, he wins. It's going to be very difficult to prove otherwise. Look at the polls number. Look at how many people are donating to his campaign and how many people are following him. And I don't know how you're going to stop that. Apart from death, I don't know what's going to stop it because he's on fire. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of men for the Lord's sake, whether it be kings or as supreme, unto governors and unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, for the praise of them that do well. One of the reasons for government officials, by the way, this text is about government. Now, this could also be used within the church context as well, but particularly Peter was talking about Christians who were at Rome during persecution. And he told them to submit to the government because they were being persecuted. They were speaking evil against them. But he told them, just make sure you submit to the government. Don't go out there and start a rebellious movement as Christians. But he was talking about governments and stuff like that. And they have purpose. So submit to them. Listen to them. And I love this because one of the reasons for government is to address evildoers. I think there's a lot of evildoers in our political system today that Mr. Trump is going to have to go get them. Once he gets back in power, he's going to address. I don't want it to be the only reason why he becomes president. But I think some of the evildoers and some of those corruption going on that people just let go. I mean, there's a whole system to go through, but I think a lot of it, even what Biden and everything is getting away with, I mean, in a serious country, administration, some of this stuff will not happen. I said Biden's was the weatherman. He didn't know anything about his son business dealing. Like, give me a break, people. But again, governors, we got to submit to them. Presidents and so on. We got to pray for them too, man. For it is the will of God. With well doing, you may put to silence ignorant or foolish men. Powerful. So by submitting and living a decent life in our culture to those that are in power, as long as they're not telling you to violate your conscience, you should submit, support, and be there for political leaders and so on. It's a powerful text. It could be studied in a lot more details. But anyway, let me end this video. Joe Rogan, that was a great job. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. Link in the description below. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.